Haven't started?
Yeah, it has started.
Okay. Okay, finally, I think we're here, guys. Really sorry for this, guys. I think this is the first time we're doing it a little professionally, okay, on Google, on YouTube Live, yeah. So, like, really sorry for all the mess ups which we've done today, yeah. But yeah, I think we'll keep the session like that good ki you guys would love it, and we'll also take each and every one of your questions as well. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I think we can just uh, wait for 1 more minute, and then we can get guys can get started. Sure. Uh, so guys, yeah, just 1 more minute, and then we'll get started. Yeah, guys. Awesome. Okay. I think, guys, yeah, I think we are on time, 12:38. Yeah. So, guys, today, as always, we have someone very special. Okay. He's one of our sharpener alumni, and like, guys, this guy is a little different from the older sharpenarians which you've seen. Okay, because this Sharpnarian has it all, okay? He's done B Tech, he's done M Tech, he's done everything, okay? But guys, there's one catch, okay? He's done everything in structural engineering, okay? Civil engineering for all of you, okay? So this guy, like this alumni has everything, okay? Like basically, he's done B Tech, followed by M Tech. Then after that, he worked in the non-ID sector, basically in the structural engineering side. Okay. Then basically he realized that structural engineering is something which is not something which he likes. Okay. And then he took the bold move of quitting his job, starting something from scratch, like starting coding from scratch. After that, he took the bold move to quit his job, and then he started coding from scratch, okay, which is not easy, okay, guys. Then like he like basically worked very hard, okay, finished the course, and then basically he got a job as well in the IT sector as a software engineer with a good package as well in a startup. But for some reason things did not work out that well, okay, in that startup ecosystem which was there. So he had to again like look out for a job, okay, and yeah, like Sharpener was always there to help him out, okay. So now, guys, he is an amazing SDE at a very popular app in Bangalore, okay. In most of the, I'll say in most of the metropolitan cities, this app is very popular. It goes by the name of Mygate, okay. And he's doing a fabulous job over there, I'll say. Like he's doing an amazing job, okay. So, guys, today's session is going to be pretty interesting because today we have a person who who has seen a lot of things in his life, okay, and how he's dealt with it. Today he's going to unfold that, okay. So guys, stick till the end, okay. We'll roughly keep the session 30-35 minutes long, and after that, like, he's all yours to he'll take all your questions as well, okay. So hi Vasi, welcome to the show, man. Nice to have you, yeah, finally. So Vasi, like, I think we can quickly start off with a small elevator pitch. Like, you can let us know, let all the staff audience know a little bit about you.
So basically, my name is Wasi. I've done my BTech. So my primary interest was civil engineering at start. So I did that, and after that, I wanted to pursue like more in depth of how structure was. So that's why it's like one of the core fields in structure of civil. So I did that structural engineering, and also I worked for around 8-9 months.
Okay.
So after that, my interest kind of faded away. So I started coding, and so well, here I am.
Nice, nice. Like, this is like, I'll say, like, didn't you feel very bad as in, like, like basically you've invested close to like more than 6 years into something which was like you thought you love, okay, and then when you started working, you did not realize, you realized it's not something which you want. So what was that phase like, as in when you were transitioning?
That's it is what it is, but kind of like one thing goes away, there is no such thing as vacuum. Another thing fills it up. So
Pretty
that went away. ये आ गया फिर अब.
Okay. So, wanted to understand quickly, like BTech, okay? Like a lot of non-IT folks are also here, okay? And I think a lot of people from civil engineering would also be watching this video, okay? So, wanted to understand, like, what is the scope after BTech in civil engineering in India, like right now? What is the scope like in terms of jobs and everything?
There's kind of a saturation point, like, but that happens from, let's say, decade to decade. There is some saturation point, and then there are some people lose interest, then again the cycle repeats. So I think we're at the peak. So maybe at this point, the kind of high quality people that the industry demands, so they're not getting it, and maybe due to like high number of pass out, there are some like competition is very high, so that
Getting you. But Wasi, like tell us about your colleges as well. Like which college were you in?
So I was in Government College of Engineering Pune.
For BTech you were in
For
government.
BTech,
Okay.
and for MTech I was in Warangal, NIT.
NIT Warangal. Okay, so NIT Warangal is a pretty tier 1 college. So over there also the placements were not that great. Is it like that?
Placements were good actually.
Okay.
The year before, but the year I was in,
Okay.
kind of thoda. Yeah.
Getting you. So basically, like year before it was good, but in your year it wasn't that great. Maybe because of the recession kicking in or something like that, right? Makes sense. So, like, so in general, like people who do civil engineering, like, so they have to do MTech. Is it like that right now in India?
No, not like that. So if you give if you have good 1-2 years of experience after BTech, then you become very valuable actually.
Okay.
So
as
there's a part.
I'm talking about like in terms of freshers, like for freshers to get a job in civil engineering, how difficult is that?
I would say not that difficult, but you'll have to, for a good position, you'll have to work, I don't know, like 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
2-3
Okay.
years.
But initial barrier is there. Like maybe a
some
lot of
barriers.
people don't get a job, right? Like in civil engineering. I think in my time also, like 2018, it was something similar only. Mechanical engineers, civil engineers. Like even I am an electronic guy, so I also had to take an IT job. So I can understand the situation is still like the same. ठीक है. So, Vasi, now coming to the next part, okay? You did MTech, you got a job as well, okay? So, wanted to understand what was the job like? As in, like, what was the environment like?
So, like, I wouldn't say anything like wrong about the job. It was just like kind of routine and repetitive. So,
Okay.
but nothing wrong with it. But kind of my personal preference that things don't become repetitive. So it's kind of boring, but interesting. Like for someone who likes it, like, but someone who is like doesn't like any routine stuff, so they would hate it.
I'm guessing that, like, yeah, basically in software engineering, I think this thing kind of is very different because every day is a new challenge. So, yeah, like I think that's where like software engineers kind of like they like. So this is something which I've seen personally. Okay. Like when I was a techie, I also used to see this. Ki like when my manager used to ask me, ki how much time will this task take? Okay, I was never ever able to surely tell him ki it will be done in this time. Okay, so I think that's the beauty of things. Like every day is a new challenge, every task is a new challenge, and you can never estimate how much time something would take. Yeah, with time, like as you mature, as you become more experienced over here, you can somehow like maybe predict ki, okay, it might take maximum like maybe 5 days. Okay, so normally you start telling a manager like, so as a fresher, what I've seen ki people tend to say ki it will be done in 2 days. Okay, they tend to say what is the minimum time. Okay, and then the manager comes back to them कि 2 दिन में हुआ क्यों नहीं, like why isn't it done in 2 days. Okay, as a senior, you basically tend to go the other way. You tell the maximum number of days कि this task, even if it might take 2 days, he'll say 5 days. So that is the maturity which I've seen in seniors compared to juniors in software engineers. So I'm getting the point over here. So what made you decide ki, okay, let's quit the job? Okay, because I've seen a lot of Sharpnarians, honestly, like most of them are freshers that way, but the few Sharpnarians who come like who worked in the different sector altogether, what I've seen is that they start off with coding, they parallelly do their job, and they parallelly like at some point they decide ki let's quit everything and let's basically go full time in coding. Okay, but your case is very different. Like you quit your job and then you started coding. So what was the mindset, as in what did you think ki, okay, let's why did you think ki, like let's quit the job first,
Like I wanted to, like I could have done it like parallelly, but it would have taken like much more time. So I thought like, okay, let's give it all and do it this one thing.
fair enough, fair enough.
So that's
So
why.
time was the main constraint.
Time was the
Main
constraint.
constraint. Getting you. So and why did you choose software engineering? Like why not anything else?
I mean, it's kind of a new field, and you have that, I would say, power to like dictate machine what to do. So that's almost like magic. So I mean, you have that control. You have to think precisely what you want the system to do.
Correct.
So I think there are not many professions like that. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, Vasi, I think I'll now ask the like one of the most favorite questions which most of the Sharpnarians have. Okay, is when did you start coding, Vasi?
Acha, I coded a little bit in like 11th or 12th standard with that in C++, I guess.
Okay, I thought you'll say HTML,
No,
CSS.
no, in C++. So it was like a kind of introductory course to programming.
Okay.
So learn, I think, almost C++ and some object oriented, some Java.
Okay.
So, but after that, it was, I think, 4 5 years kind of gap. Then I resumed.
Okay. So primarily after leaving the job only you decided. Okay. Pretty. Matlab, you have that guts. I think you have that in you, right? Like to take such bold steps. Amazing. Yeah. So primarily after leaving the job, you decided ki okay, let's start coding. Okay, let's try this sector out. So this was like this is one of our favorite questions, like from Sharpener. Is ki what made you choose Sharpener? What brought you here?
I was searching for like some codings. I thought I would do it on my own, but like why not take guidance from people who have already like taken student and made them eligible to do something. So I thought that would be much more a concrete path for me. So that's why I chose.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, Vasi, like, okay. So now, would love to understand, like, how were you managing your time? As in, like, so once you join here, you've come in full time. I am understanding. Full time, you're dedicating to Sharpener. So you might have created some routine, which I think most of the people would benefit out from. So can you tell us about your routine? What was your routine like?
Acha, acha, huh.
How you used to plan your day?
So basically, the most like heavy lifting stuff I would do in the morning itself, and like reading any new material, watching any new videos, like anything new that I used to do in the morning time itself, and in the afternoon I would kind of revise everything that I've done.
Okay.
And in the evening, just like what I'm going to do for the next day. So that was my routine.
Okay. Nice. As in, I think this is something which like all the sharp medians over here should understand. Okay, like this is like I've seen it across like most of the students in like who've come over here in the alumni sections. Okay, that like normally now like what happens is like coding happens best where like I'll say in the morning, like either you get up early in the morning, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and you code up till the time you have breakfast. Okay, like up till before breakfast, like coding happens really good. Okay, this is what I've seen. Okay, and post that, like coding happens very good after 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 to 7 is like because coding is something na guys like which requires a lot of focus. Okay, whenever you sit with the problem, you need to go inside it, keep thinking and thinking and thinking. So you need to have a lot of focus. Okay, so whenever what I've seen as a pattern is ki whenever you have some food or something or the other, like whenever you have lunch or any meal for that matter, that kind of slows most of the developers down. Okay, that kind of slows you down, and as a result of which your focus kind of gets affected a little bit. So primarily I'll say the best hours, if you ask me, which like whatever I've researched, I'll say is like in the morning, in the evening, like between 4 to 7 or so, and at night. Like there are a lot of midnight owls also whom I've seen. Like post 10 o'clock or so, they keep coding up till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Yeah, there are people who code up till 4 o'clock also. So that's what I've seen ki works wonders. Okay, so you guys can also plan your time accordingly. Okay, see what is your effective hours. Okay, that helps a lot. Yeah, identifying.
Yeah, I resonate with that. Yeah, what you said.
Yeah, definitely. So, Vasi, any structure which you were following, ki, like maybe I have to do these many questions today, or many, or any like pattern which you like started following gradually, ki this is my target for the day. Once I finish it, I can take rest. Like, were you following any structure like that?
I would say like this is like my minimum quota. I have to do at least this, then everything after it kind of bonus. So
Okay.
yeah, in terms of like anything like completing any module or solving any question or reading any article. So
Okay.
I would say, acha, this is my daily minimum target. I have to achieve it.
What was your target, as in,
So
like, if you
like
can tell us?
Acha, like for modules that were there, maybe like they were like divided in chapters. So I would say some uh, 10, 15 like those chapters and doing some questions, data structure related,
Okay.
and like maybe 1, 2 questions, and after that maybe reading some articles like.
Getting you? So basically, some like in terms of task wise, what were you looking at? Like were you looking at some task? Ki, okay, these many tasks I have to do. Like because if you can simplify what the people who are watching there, that would help. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I have to do this many tasks that were in the module.
Okay.
So I have to finish that and finish it properly. Otherwise, like, go back and redo it.
Okay. That's amazing. That's really good. I think that helps a lot. So what were you doing when you were getting stuck? Like whenever you get stuck in a task, okay, what were you doing to solve problems when you were getting stuck in those problems?
So then I'll kind of like write down like what I'm thinking, what are the problems, like step by step, what are the questions, like tackle one question, like small question at a time. So
Okay.
that way you can kind of most probably will solve it. If not, then like look it up.
Makes
Solve
sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I think this is. I think I resonate with you. Maybe like this is something which I've been telling also for a good amount of time now. Okay, if you guys get stuck na, switch off your laptop. Okay, like that's the first thing which you should do, and you should take just a pen and paper and write what you are thinking. Okay, write what how you are planning to approach the problem. Because once you start writing what is in your head, now once you start clearing that off, I'm pretty sure like you come up with some conclusion altogether or in the process. Okay, so like guys, if you guys get stuck, now try this out. Like it would definitely help. Okay, Wasi is also saying the same thing, and I have to use this multiple number of times. Yeah. And yeah, if nothing works out, then the best thing is you can look at the solution, okay? But one thing which I've learned from a few Sharpnarians also is that whenever you're looking at the solution, say if you code in Java, you can look at the solution in Python or C++ or some other language, and so that you don't know the exact solution, but you can come to know the algorithm, and from that algorithm you can code it in Java again or whatever language you code in. Okay, that helps because if you get stuck forever, then maybe watching the right answer would help you to come out of it. But make sure you go and redo it again, okay? Like if you've not understood it, like just the way Vasi did it. So Vasi, over here, one thing which I've also seen, people tend to give up fast, okay? Like say, like right now I'm telling them, if you don't know the solution, go and look at the solution. If you cannot find the solution, then go and look at the solution. People would open a problem, they would think for 5 minutes, and then they'll think कि नहीं हो रहा है, solution खोल लेते हैं. So what is the right amount of time they should give before going to the solution? Like how much time should they give
Like
to the particular problem?
maybe, I don't know, maybe half an hour at least.
Half an
give
hour.
it a thought, or else like at least half an hour, give it a thought, and maybe if it's not working, then revise those basic concepts on which the problem is based on. So if it is still not, if you're still not getting that hint, then I would say look it up. Like
Getting you. So roughly the sweet spot lies between 45 minutes to 1 hour, right? That's 45 minutes to 1 hour is something which you should give to any problem, okay? Before you basically give up on it. Makes sense, makes sense. And I think a very important part of it is go and revise it back again. Like once if you're not able to solve it in the first shot, and if you use hints or any solutions, then make sure you go and revise that problem. That's fair. So Vasi, now tell me, like again, one of the very, very favorite questions of each and every Sharpnarian is how much time did it take for you to complete the course?
around I'd say 6.5 months.
6 to 6.5 months is what it took you. Okay. And like I've seen a lot of Sharpnarians finish it in 3 to 4 months as well. Okay. So I want to understand from you why did it take you so long? As in, what were you doing in between?
There were some I would say family responsibility. Some things came up, so that took away some time. But yes, I did it slowly, kind of to do it in a structured way, like make notes, revise, and make sure that you really understand and test it that you understand. So that's why I mean to go through that process and like ensure yourself that okay, you know this. So if you don't, then what's the point?
Makes sense, makes sense. So you were making notes and everything and revising everything. That is good. Okay, Vasi, coming to the next set of questions which I have for you, okay, is once you complete the development phase, okay. So over here, like instead of normal coders, like normal teachers and everything, like you had mentors who were there from like who are ex Sharpnarians and who already work with product based companies. What was your take on that? As in, like, how were they? Like,
the videos were definitely helpful. Like, because like you get that from their perspective. They've designed something, so they know how the student will go through this and what would they feel and what would the question they would be asking. So since they have that knowledge, so they made like tailored it accordingly. That you would have this question, okay, think in this way, think is it this direction, this would like think it like this. So that was really helpful for me to like understand from their perspective what they want me to understand.
Correct.
Like
personally, like what we've also ensured at Sharpner, okay, like most of the questions which we get, right, are questions, interview questions which we've faced personally in our lives, okay. Like I remember there's this one question, okay, in which it's a very simple question, okay, it's a simple front end question wherein I was asked to make a simple table, okay, and in that table I had to just add columns in which there are buttons, okay, in each and every column, in each and every cell of the table there is a button, okay. So this was something which was asked to me in an interview of a company called Acolyte, okay, when I and what I did normally was I just went simple head on brute force solution. I just wrote a for loop, and I in each and every cell I added a button, and on that I made ki on click do this. Okay, and I got straight rejected, obviously. So so that made me think ki what did I do wrong. Okay, and there's a video on that as well which I've put. Ki you should not do that because there's so many buttons and you're putting so many event listeners on each and every one of them. So yeah, like so personally, like what we tried to do is ki whatever wherever we've gotten rejections, we made sure students don't get rejected on the same reasons. Yeah. So something like machine learning is what we are trying to do here. Makes sense. So Vasi, coming to the next phase, as in I think you finished your course and everything. Coming to the interview phase, okay. Okay, what was that like, Vasi?
Acha, so during like early interviews that I gave, so there was this problem like I could solve the like I would solve the problem but was not able to explain it properly like how what decisions did I make and what is their justification. So like you learn this thing by literally giving more interviews. So once you've done that and maybe they'll give feedback or maybe you'll self-reflect. So either way, uh, giving I would say practically more interviews, she would kind of improve on that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So that's that.
Okay. So, where were you getting rejected? So, I'm understanding you were not being able to explain what you're doing. Maybe that was one issue. Apart from that, like in terms of problems, what kind of problems were you facing? You are a backend engineer, right? Like you did backend development, right? What was the format which you were getting in the interviews? Like how many DSA questions and how many, like whatever interviews you gave, like what was the structure of the interviews primarily?
I would say like
in backend.
one DS question may be something related to database or some simple system design or let's say some concept related to databases like what are indexes, what are compound indexes, things like that. So this part also I didn't like completely read it like in detail. So I was lacking in that and like what are different type of databases, those things as well. And apart from that, DS questions were some of them I simply wasn't able to solve.
Okay.
So I had to revise those again. But yeah, after that, okay.
That you got into. So, Vasi, I think so. Pretty important right now, which I'll ask you, like the first company which you got into. Okay, I'm guessing it was a startup, right? Like, what was your take on startup? Like, you were there for 2 months, right? Like in the startup.
Roughly.
So, how were things in the startup? Like, how is the work like in a startup?
Yeah, it's really good actually. Like you get to communicate directly with lead whoever is working on, and he would like brief you. And since that person has that kind of knowledge, he has worked from like maybe years on that project, so he would be like able to pinpoint. Okay, here's where the problem lies, or here's where you have to do the work. And that is also like the communication is very direct. So you'll I mean, if you're able to grasp and if you're able to grasp that, then you'll grow very quickly.
Okay.
So there's that, yeah.
Okay.
I like that
Awesome.
thing.
And what were the bad things about being in a startup?
I wouldn't say anything bad. I really wouldn't say anything bad.
So it was very good.
Yeah, very good.
And you like the direct attitude कि काम क्यों नहीं हो रहा है?
Direct. It's really direct.
Getting you. Yeah, startups have that perk. Like it's more direct because everyone in the end wants you to basically do the work properly and get the job done, and in the end, like whatever benefits they get, they would definitely try to ensure that you also get the same benefits. Yeah. So yeah, definitely startups. I'll say good startups with good culture definitely have these things ingrained in them. There are obviously bad startup founders, okay, who will love to blame, "Ki, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" Yeah. So yeah, it's a mixed lot, I'll say. Basi, I would ask you right now, like, so guys, I'll just give you a brief overview. Okay, Vasi was there in a startup for roughly 2 months. Okay, and then something went off. As a result of which, he had to move on to something, some other company. Okay, which right now is Mygate. Okay, like, yeah. So Vasi, I'll be direct over here. What do you think went wrong in the startup?
I had some health issues, so
Okay.
I couldn't perform like as well.
Okay.
So that's like my performance basically went down. So that is why.
Getting you.
So,
Yeah, I think startups, mein, there's this one problem which is definitely there is ki they don't have a they don't like things are very fast in startup. Okay, like if you grow fast. Okay, but if you don't do well in the probation phase, okay, there's a high chance ki you might not be able to continue. Whatever is the reason, maybe your health can go down and everything, but startups mein it's more like ki if something is not working out for them, they would make decisions fast as well. And if you perform well, also they'll promote you fast as well. Okay, guys. So that it's like a two-edged sword, I'll say. Okay. Vasi, now as we've named the session, okay, कि this is sharpness placement के साथ भी placement के बाद भी. So what was your phase after you lost the job, when you lost the job? What was it like? Like how sad was that, and how did you handle it?
no, I basically like took whatever input they gave me and like improved upon it. Basically, that's it.
What did they give you?
I mean, like, take that ownership of the code that you're writing. Take that complete ownership. That okay, I've written this code. I should be able to deliver it to the end user, whoever that is, some user or some company, whichever. So that's your like primary duty to deliver software. That's it. So I focused on that.
Makes sense. Yeah, guys, like this is something which I also tell in like most of my students who get placed. Okay, is ki first 2 3 months like work very hard. Okay, whichever company you go to. Okay, because most of the companies would have a probation phase. Okay, and over here in corporate, right, like there is this one saying ki first impression is kind of the last impression. Okay, like the first impression which you make over here, it kind of takes you a long way. Okay, so if your first impression is a little sloggy, then that would carry on. Okay, and if your first impression is like very proactive, no matter like say, and if in the first few months if you work very hard, right, like no matter like if even after like if you stop working after like say for 4 5 months, okay, people would always say ki, no, this guy is very hardworking. Okay, maybe he has like maybe the task is difficult. Okay, they'll start blaming the task, but they'll never blame you. Okay, so guys, whoever is joining a company, make sure, okay, in the first 3 4 months like you work very hard. Okay, you go an extra mile. Okay, and after that, trust me, like they'll give you good hikes, they'll give you everything. Okay, so I think Vasi, I think this whatever you learned over here, I think that has played a phenomenal part in Mygate, because guys, Mygate, trust me, like I know the HR really well. Okay, she is always like, send me more guys like Vasi. Okay, they are so happy with him. Okay, so Vasi, like whatever you learned, okay, so when you joined Mygate, how did you take things differently this time?
So like understanding whatever project that you're working on and whichever task that you've been given, understanding the context around it and not just like coding it up, and what were previous person's contribution to that specific area that you have been given a task to. So I gave more thought to that. Like if I make any changes or if I contribute to any project, so would my changes be like more like would they be kind of reliable, and would they have that kind of extensibility, like in future if I make any changes, if I make any decision. So that should be kind of a fluid. It should have that fluid characteristic to it. Like it shouldn't be kind of that hard coded thing that
Makes sense.
future developers would have some problems to face. Okay, what did this guy code it up? This is not good. So
Getting it.
I gave good thought about that.
So you started taking ownership and you started seeing ki, like basically things are done the right way.
Right.
Okay, that's awesome. I think one more thing I think which is good and also bad about product-based companies, I'll say, is ki say like in like if you're in a service-based, right? There's a high chance whatever code you write, right? Even if it's not that optimized, things would still work out, okay? Like because say in a service-based setup, mostly they'll not get a lot of users in the very start, okay? In product-based, what happens normally is ki you write code, if it's not efficient, okay, it will go to the users and users will tear it like tear that feature down, okay? Because there will be so many users using it. If it's not efficient, things would either slow down or something or the other would happen. So in product based, it's very very important that you take ownership of whatever you're doing. Yeah, that is like very very important, or else the ticket would come back to you again. Like it would come back to you, and the manager would say, "Ki, what have you written over here?" And you'll have to work sleepless nights. Yeah, so I'll say that's a good part and the bad part as well, because good part being the fact that you get a lot of time, okay, a lot of extra time to think over how to approach a particular problem and solve it in the right fashion. But you have to do it right in the first shot, okay, that's very important. Yeah, ठीक है. Vasi, coming to like just a little bit of I'll say pros and cons. Okay, now since you're, how big is Mygate right now? Like how big is the team at Mygate?
So like my team or my
Like, as in your entire organization wise, I'll say.
I think in developers maybe around 200 I would say.
200 developers and total employee strength would be above 1000 or so, right?
Maybe.
Makes sense. So, guys, so I would want to understand the difference. Okay, I think a lot of young audience, okay, over here. So we would love to understand ki what are the differences between a big organization and a small organization, a startup basically.
A startup basically, like you have that very direct communication, and in organization there is also that. I mean, there is some direct communication, but not as startups. So there, anything happens, or that's also a good thing. Like if the team sizes are small in startups, so if there is any dependency or anything like that, so you could directly get it resolved or get it whatever dependency that you have. And in big organization, things are done in kind of a bureaucratic way. So I wouldn't say that's bad. That's actually good, because there is a record of what went. Because in future, if something so there is a record for that. Okay, this is what happened. So there is much importance given to that in a big company.
Makes sense. So I mostly like just to summarize it, like it's more like everything has a structure over here, and in startup it's a little direct. Like if you do something bad, you come to know that moment only, and if you do something good, that also you come to know that moment only. Like very good work, you get like direct feedback for everything good you do. In big companies, things take time because it's more of a structure and yeah, making sense. Vasi, since we have a lot of people who are in your place, like right now, are in that phase which you've been through already, okay? So any piece of advice which you would want to give to them, people who are just starting off or people who are working right now on Sharpener's course. So any piece of advice which you would want to give to them?
I would say like stick to your plan. That's it.
Stick to your plan, okay. There's no plan B, is it?
No, maybe there is plan B, but whatever plan that you've made, like stick to it.
Yeah, don't get distracted. That's like no matter what the situation is, like I know a lot of you are scared that AI would take your job or chat GPT would take your job or whatever, but trust me guys, like just remove that noise, okay? Maybe there's recession behind the doors. There are a lot of things which are going on definitely, but what you do understand if you're skilled enough, like nothing can stop you, okay? Because tech as an industry, it would obviously keep on changing with time, but like techies would always get hired, okay? Like there are enough number of jobs, okay? Things would might be slow towards, like things may be slow, okay? But trust me, AI cannot replace a human. That is definitely there, okay? Like AI, like ChatGPT, I know, like if you tell it to build something, it does build stuff, but it cannot understand the context that really well, okay? So it cannot basically write code like a way developer does, okay? Because for a developer, like right now, as Vasi has also told, okay, and what I've also seen is ki for a developer, primarily it's like 80% of the time kind of goes into understanding the requirement, understanding how to go about building it. That's what 80% of the time goes, okay. Like roughly, it's like 10% or even lesser than that is what is when we write code, okay. Remaining 80 to 90% of the time is kind of mostly going into understanding the requirement better and understanding how you want to go about building it, right? Like Ravasi, yeah. And trust me, AI cannot solve those stuff. Okay. Awesome, Vasi. So, guys, Vasi, I would also want to know, कि, in terms of your right now, like work, okay, like work-life balance, okay, how is that right now?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
What was it like in the startup?
There also, yeah, it was good, I would say. Yeah.
It was good only.
Also, I had good experiences.
Yeah. So guys, like yeah, like this is what I've also seen. Like a lot of people are very tense कि startup में पूरा दिन काम कराते घर जाने नहीं देते हैं. Okay, don't think it like that. Okay, like a good startup. Okay, a startup which would scale. Like they would actually keep their employees, their founding team members, in the best possible way. Okay. Because they also know, okay, see, like if they treat you well, you will treat the company well. Okay, you will treat it as a product of your own. If they don't treat you well, you will also not treat them well. Okay, they'll, yeah. So don't be scared of anything like that. Okay, what you have to do is you have to gain that experience. Okay, and definitely everything would follow, right? Every prosperity would follow. Yeah. So Vasi, so this is a lot about coding. Okay, we've talked a lot about this. I want to also understand a little bit about your, like what do you do in your free time, Vasi, because that's also very important. Yeah.
In my free time, mostly I would hike. Or like
Go for hiking and
go
stuff.
for hiking.
Okay,
mountains.
pretty interesting.
And maybe study like something which really also is kind of intriguing and mysterious, like biology, human body. So
Oh,
those are also my
amazing. So hiking and all, like, do you go frequently or what is it like?
No, actually, not since last couple of months, but yeah, I'm planning to.
And how has Bangalore been like?
Yeah, Bangalore is good. Yeah, the temperature is yeah good.
Yeah, so
It's a nice
guys,
place.
like I've
Weather is
seen
good.
this. Okay, I've seen this. Like I've seen this with me also, and I've seen it with a lot of Sharpnarians as well. Okay, once you come to Bangalore, you never leave it. Okay, that's why Bangalore's population is increasing, and Bangalore is also increasing in size as well. Okay, like the boundaries are getting extended and extended and extended. Yeah, fair enough, guys. Okay, this was about the podcast bit. Okay, I think we've completed the podcast. Okay, next thing which we'll be doing is we would be taking your questions up. Okay, guys. But what I want is from you guys is ki like I want one thing, one very small thing from you. Okay, is that I'll be putting Vashi's Instagram post which we created. Okay. I would want you to like comment something about this session, whatever you're feeling. Okay, I would want you to do that. Okay, it would basically motivate us to basically keep doing this session. Okay, so I'll just quickly put the Instagram posts. Okay, you guys can like maybe say it's an awesome session and whatever you guys feel like. Okay, but I want each and every one of you to comment. Okay, and then we'll basically start off with the Google Meet. I'll send a Google Meet link, and over there you guys can unmute yourself and ask questions to Wasi directly. Yeah. So what I'll do is, guys, I'm just sending the Instagram's posts link. Would love your feedback on the same. Okay. And then you guys can put your comments, and basically we can start off with the Google Meet link. Yeah. So guys, show some love on this Instagram link. Yeah, guys. Yeah, we'll answer each and every question. I've put my Instagram link over here. Okay. Make sure you're putting some nice comments, I'll say. Okay. And then we would basically send a Google Meet link as well. Okay. I would ask the admin to basically pin the comment so that people can. Okay, there are very interesting. Okay, so I'm just going through the comments. Okay, people are loving this way of us taking the session. Amazing, yeah. Okay, people, nice. Guys, if you can show some love, that would be really great. Yeah, and I am just going to share you the Google Meet link as well. Yeah. So guys, if you're enjoying, just maybe say I'm loving it, maybe in the comments, or you can just say that, and that would help us. Yeah. And in the meantime, I'll just send the Google Meet link. Yeah. Guys, in the meantime, one more thing, one more small announcement which we had. Okay, guys, recently we've tied up with Wipro and NASCOM. Okay, I think this we had announced also. So we've basically things have gotten finalized and everything. So what is what they've allowed us to do with this kind of a structure is ki like so basically we can issue certificates, okay, on for those students like who perform really well. So right now I don't have the certificate with me, but I would love to inform you that Wasi has been felicitated with a gold certificate from Wipro and NASCOM. Okay, so congratulations, Wasi, on that. Yeah.
Thank
Nice, yeah. And I think the certificate, I'll be showing you what the certificate would be looking like. So, Vasi, this is a different kind of certificate altogether. Okay. With this certificate, like basically what you guys can like do, right? Like, so there is a Wipro's app. Okay. Wipro has created a new app. Okay. In that, once we give you this certificate, okay, it would be visible on the app. Okay. And a lot of hiring and all also goes in that app. Okay. Yeah, that's what Wipro people have told. Okay, so that way the certificate would be a lot beneficial, because like this certificate would stay in the app, and you can apply to a lot of companies and you'll get recognition. Okay, that's the structure. Okay, and it's completely they've made this app completely based on blockchain. Okay, so that's also really good. Yeah. Sure. I think we're on time. I think we've sent the Google Meet link. So, guys, I'm going to stop the this live session, and we're going to just jump to Google Meet. Okay. So yeah, guys, see you there. Yeah. So whatever questions you have, guys, make sure you ask it over there. Yeah. We'll take each and every question. Yeah.